His resume includes scores of other turkey calling contest wins through 4 decades, including the Grand National Champion of Champions, the Mid-American Open, and 20 state titles. A 15-time Grand National senior finalist. He has won or placed in more than 200 calling contests. Steve's a Woodhaven Custom Calls pro staffer. He hails from Cantrell, Iowa. Please help me welcome to the stage Mr. Steve Stoltz.
All right, thank you, Matt. Wow, who wrote that? I don't know. Well, welcome to another Grand National Championship, and it's not just another one, it's a special one because we were not able to hold the convention last year, and I think, well, raise your hand if you missed coming to the convention last year. Raise your hand. Are you all happy to be here this weekend? Give the National Wild Turkey Federation a big round of applause for having us back. All right, so before I go any further, this is the 2022 Grand National Friction Championship Final. This is the final top 13 callers. That's the top 12 callers and the defending champion. And of course, thank you for being here. After the Friction Championship this afternoon will be the Super Bowl turkey calling, the finals in the 2022 Grand National Senior Division Open Championship. Following the Grand National Finals on this stage will be the induction for the Grand National Turkey Callers Hall of Fame class of 2022, and they will be inducting 5 new members into the Hall of Fame. So you want to stick around for that to witness turkey calling history right here on stage here at the Opryland Hotel. So looking forward to that. And the Hall of Fame ceremony, by the way, will be approximately 4 p.m. So that's what they're shooting for. I mentioned we have 13 finalists. The 2022 Grand National Friction Division Turkey Calling Champion will be crowned here on this stage. These guys work, these callers and competitors work many, many, many months, all year, for this moment. So we want to make sure you have all your cell phones on vibrate, silent, or off, so we don't have any interruptions. If while the callers are calling, if you would refrain from leaving a room, that would be great, maybe in between callers. Then if you have to leave to use the restroom, try and do so at that time to keep everything very quiet. Now, before we go any further, we're going to introduce the top 13 callers in the 2022 Grand National Friction Championships. Hey, Steve? Yes. Can we watch this? All right, we're ready to introduce them. Please welcome Tanner Norris.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that in slow motion. Yeah.
Tyler Presley.
When I was a kid, Uncle Remus.
Big round of applause for many-time Friction champion Jason Conrad. Next up in the finals, Mr. Brett Ledoux. And no stranger to the stage of the Grand Nationals his entire career, Rodney Eckstein. time. I do it wrong every time. You can't make this stuff up. Please welcome to the stage, Zach Conway. Next in the finals, no stranger again to Grand National competition, Mr. Dustin Jones. Next up, a young and up-and-coming, absolute, unbelievable friction caller, Mr. Dakota Chamberlain.
Lord, I guess I'm winning broke. Family tradition. They get on me, wanna know, Hank, why do you drink?
Please welcome Dakota's father and many-time friction champion, Benjamin Chamberlain.
And I ain't trying to talk no smack, it's just the facts, y'all. 'Cause my truck's louder than your truck, and my red white's a little more blue. You might
Next on the stage, Grand National 2022 Friction Championship, Haley Newell. Give Haley a big round of applause.
Put my money down and place my bet, but I just got the first buck of the season.
Next up,
I made the
in the finals, please welcome Jason Powell.
chase a little trouble with some whiskey on ice. Kiss the past goodbye. You're my shotgun body, I'm your getaway cloud with a ride.
And no stranger to the Grand National stage, a many-time champion caller here on this stage, decorated caller for his career, Mitchell Johnston. Please welcome Mitchell Johnston. And to finish out the top 13 callers of 2022 Grand National Friction Championship Finals here on the stage, defending champion Matt Van Sice. All right, judges, I've always said this, you know, to have a Grand National Championship, I think all these callers will agree, to have a quality turkey calling championship, you have to have quality judges. Starts with top quality judges. And there are no better judges than they have in this panel here for the Grand National Friction Finals. And I'm going to start by introducing the judges. Give them a big round of applause after I give you their accolades, because, okay, first I got to excuse the callers. They got to get ready to call. Big round of applause for the finalists. Good luck, callers. As I stated, the judges are such an important part. And I'm going to start with this gentleman. He's hunted turkeys in Alabama for over 42 years. He's a personal friend of mine for many, many years. Back when Mark Drury and Terry Drury and myself started Drury Outdoors, we hunted with Chuck and all the group down at Bent Creek and became, friends with, of course, Toxie Hayes, the early years of Mossy Oak. And what great history with this guy. Talk about a guy who knows what a turkey sounds like. He does. He's competed in world and state and local championships. He's judged Grand National championships, and he's won numerous calling championships. over his 27 years competing. He is a wildlife biologist, and he is also the executive producer and creator of the Management Advantage. He's a consultant, and he has managed hundreds and thousands of acres across the country. He's currently the director of wildlife and freshwater fisheries for the state of Alabama. This gentleman is responsible for causing more turkeys' death than blackhead. Please welcome Chuck Sykes. Mr. Chuck Sykes. This gentleman, he's the owner of Treetop Turkeys, possesses the largest digitally recorded library of real wild turkeys. Now, how could you have a better ear than somebody that digitally records wild turkeys? He's been competing in calling contests since the early 1990s, and soon after he began recording turkeys. In 2004, Brad founded Treetop Turkeys, of which he's released Volume 1 to the public at that time. And then since then, he has released 2 other projects through Treetop Turkeys. In 2005, Brad was honored to judge the Grand National Finals Turkey Calling Championship. Since then, he has went on to judge many World, U.S. Open, and Grand National Championships. Sharing his love for turkey hunting and knowledge through recording the wild turkey. Let's give a big round of applause to Mr. Brad Taylor. This next gentleman hails from Sebring, Florida. I personally know the guy, and he's turkey. He knows turkeys, he's got a great ear, and he is a competitive caller. He is currently one of the top callers in the country. He learned to use a mouth call at age 8. He's been a competition caller since 2014, and he has notched top 10 finishes both in world and grand national competition. Please give a big round of applause, Mr. Shane Martinez. Next gentleman is called competitively for 25 years. He's a Grand National Friction Senior Champion, a record 4 times. This man has won. He's also won World and U.S. Open and Virginia State Open Championships. And he's hunted turkeys for over 30 years. He's a turkey killer. Please welcome from Dante, Virginia, Mr. Bobby Woods. This next gentleman hails from Elizabethtown, Tennessee. He's hunted turkey seriously since 1979. He has been judging the Grand National Calling Contest since 1993. Larry is a member of the Tennessee Turkey Hunters Hall of Fame. He's killed 66 Grand Slams and 37 Royal Slams. He routinely hunts 10 states in Mexico in the spring, and he is at least in 5 states in the fall. Larry has authored the turkey hunting book, Letters to My Grandson. It's about the passing of the tradition to another generation. He is an avid student of wind instruments in turkey calling, such as wing bones. Please welcome Mr. Larry Prophet. This next gentleman needs almost no introduction. One of the most decorated friction callers in the history of the sport. He has won the Grand National Championships here on this stage. He has won U.S. Open, and he has won Masters. When they used to hold the Masters Championship. Again, turkey killer. He's a guide. He guides turkey hunters every year, I think, in Florida and other areas. But great friend to the National Wild Turkey Federation. Please welcome Pat Strasser. This next gentleman has hunted turkeys since he was 5 years old. He also has been calling a competition ever since. He earned 2nd and 4th place finishes in the Grand National Friction Championships. And he's also won in Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, and owl hooting championships in Tennessee, Virginia, and South Carolina. This gentleman is sponsored by Drake, Mossy Oak, and Hank's Game Calls. Big round of applause to Dylan Bearden. Dylan. Thank you, judges, for volunteering your time with us this morning. This contest, once again, would not be a success without the judges under the pit. I want to remind everybody that we don't want to distract the callers, and again, please turn your cell phones on vibrate, and try and wait between callers to leave the room, and we can get started here in a little bit. Before we get started, I'd like to take a moment to recognize all the men and women today who are serving in our armed forces. It is because of what you do that we are able to get together and enjoy something we truly love. Thank you. Big round of applause to the veterans. And before we go any further, we want to recognize 3 people in the last year we've lost. Friends of the National Wild Turkey Federation dedicated their lives. We all know them. And I'm going to do a moment of silence for Larry Shockey, Tim Anderson, excuse me a second, and Terry Durham, excuse me. Moment of silence for Terry Durham, Larry Shockey, and Tim Anderson. Thank you. The National Wild Turkey Federation is like a family, and this is like a family reunion. And when we lose one of our own, it's tough. It's really tough. But it's good to be able to get together and celebrate the life of those that have impacted our life so dearly. And we've been able to do that this weekend, and I think that's great. So happy for that. Now, I'd like for everybody to stand as we will recognize our flag and the national anthem. Lids off, please.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and all of the brave?
All right. Excuse me, I got choked up a little earlier and couldn't even think who to memorialize, but I will tell you this. They affected our lives, and we're thankful we had them. So many members have left us, but their legacy lives on. So here on the Grand National stage, we will always remember those contributors that have paved the way for us to enjoy what we enjoyed today. And so, are you all having a good time at Opryland? Can I hear some dedicated volunteers that, if you see the National Wild Turkey Federation members that are working the show, if they're wearing a tag that says National Wild Turkey Federation, they've been working so hard for many, not just weeks, months, to make sure that this convention goes off without a hitch. And a big round of applause to all the volunteers in National Wild Turkey Federation. All right, the callers have all drawn numbers. If we're ready to start, we're going to begin the 2022 Grand National Friction Championship Finals here on the stage of the Opryland Hotel. Good luck to all the contestants. And we're going to start with contestant number 1. Remind everybody, the callers will be asked for 5 calls. There'll be the fly down cackle, plain yelp of the hen, cluck and purr, kiki run, and old hen assembly. Caller number 1, when you're ready, the fly down cackle. Caller number 1, the plain yelp of the hen. Caller number 1, cluck and purr. Caller number 1, the kiki run. Call number 1, Old Hen Assembly. Thank you, caller number 1. Caller number 2, please. 2022 Grand National Friction Finals. Caller number 2, when you are ready, the fly down cackle. Caller number 2, the plain yelp of the hen. Caller number 2, the cluck and purr. Call number 2, the Kiki Run. Caller number 2, the Old Hen Assembly. Thank you, caller number 2. Contestant number 3, please. Caller number 3. Caller number 3, when you're ready, the fly down cackle. Caller number 3, the plain yelp of the hen. Caller number 3, the cluck and purr. Call number 3, the Kiki Run. Caller number 3, the Old Hen Assembly. Thank you. Caller number 3. Caller number 4, please. Caller number 4, when you are ready, the fly down cackle. Caller number 4, the plain yelp of the hen. Call number 4, the cluck and purr. Caller number 4, the Kiki Run. And caller number 4, the Old Hen Assembly. Thank you, caller number 4. Contestant number 5, 2022 Grand National Friction Finals. Caller number 5. Caller number 5, when you're ready, the Fly Down Cackle. Caller number 5, the Plain Yelp of the Hen. Call number 5, the Cluck and Purr. Call number 5, the Kiki Run. Call number 5, the Old Hen Assembly. Thank you. Caller number 5. Caller number 6, please. Call number 6, when you are ready, the Fly Down Cackle. Caller number 6, the Plain Yelp of the Hen. Call number 6, the Cluck and Purr. Call number 6, the Kiki Run. And caller number 6, the Old Hen Assembly. Thank you, caller number 6. Caller number 7. And this is the 2022 Grand National Friction Finals. We're on contestant number 7. Number 7, when you're ready, fly down cackle. Call number 7, the plain yelp of the hen. Call number 7, the cluck and purr. Call number 7, the Kiki run. Call number 7, the old hen assembly. Thank you, caller number 7. Caller number 8, please. Caller number 8, when you're ready, the fly down cackle. Call number 8, the plain yelp of the hen. Call number 8, the cluck and purr. Call number 8, the Kiki Run. Caller number 8, the Old Hen Assembly. Thank you. Caller number 8. Test number 9, please. Caller number 9, when you're ready, the fly down cackle. And number 9, the plain yelp of the hen. Caller number 9, the cluck and purr. Caller number 9, the Kiki Run. Caller number 9, the Old Hen Assembly. Thank you, caller number 9. Contestant number 10, please. Caller number 10, when you're ready, the fly down cackle. Call number 10, the plain yelp of the hen. Caller number 10, the cluck and purr. Caller number 10, the Kiki Run. Caller number 10, the Old Hen Assembly. Thank you. Caller number 10. Contestant number 11, please. 2022 Grand National Friction Championship Final. Call number 11 when you're ready. The Fly Down Cackle. Caller number 11, Plain Yelp of the Hen. Caller number 11, the Cluck and Purr. Caller number 11, the Kiki Run. Caller number 11, the Old Hen Assembly. Thank you, caller number 11. Test number 12, please. Caller number 12, when you are ready, the fly down cat. Caller number 12, the plain yelp of the hen. Caller number 12, the cluck and purr. Caller number 12, the Kiki Run. Caller number 12, the Old Hen Assembly. Thank you, caller number 12. Contestant number 13, please. Caller number 13. '22 Grand National Friction Final Championship. Caller number 13, when you are ready, the fly down cackle. Call number 13, the plain yelp of the hen. Call number 13, the cluck and purr. Caller number 13, the Kiki Run. Caller number 13, the Old Hen Assembly. Thank you, caller number 13. I'd like to, at this time, ask all the competitors to gather in the back. All competitors gather in the back as we wind down the 2022 Grand National Friction Final Championship here on the stage at the Opryland Hotel. Caller number 14, please. Caller number 14, when you're ready, the fly down cackle. Caller number 14, the plain yelp of the hen. Caller number 14, the cluck and purr. Caller number 14, the Kiki Run. Caller number 14, the Old Hen Assembly. Thank you, caller number 14. Big round of applause for the Grand National Friction Championship here on this stage. Unbelievable. How in the world those callers control their nerves, to be able to run those friction calls like that. Unbelievable. And what I always say is they're not friction callers, they're calling turkey. They're making those friction calls into real live turkey. Another big round of applause for these callers. All right, so going to take a bit to tabulate the scores. If we have any ties, of course, we'll call off the ties on this stage here and before we give away the awards. And obviously, we'll do the same set of calls if there is a tie. But we don't know that yet. While the scores finish, we want to thank all the volunteers, once again, the National Wild Turkey Federation staff to make this event happen. You know, the National Wild Turkey Federation depends on as many volunteers here this week in Nashville, and our scorers are working hard behind the scenes. The call, the wranglers, others are here to keep the wheels turning. Plus, the decorating committee, as you can see, the stage has done a great job. Give them a big round of applause. I want to remind you that this afternoon, I think starting at 12 noon, I believe, will be the Super Bowl of turkey calling right here on this stage. The 2022 Grand National Senior Division Finals. And that's where you'll hear the top callers. They went through a preliminary round yesterday, as did the friction callers. I think in the friction there was 36 callers, 37 callers. In the senior division preliminary, there was 35 or 36 callers. And all of them, the best callers in the world, narrowed down to the top 12 along with the defending champion. So you're hearing the best turkey callers that are out there. I mean, if they're any kind of talent in turkey calling, they're here to try and win this Grand National Championship. So again, let's give the callers all a great round of applause for making it to these championships. And plans are now underway for the 2023 Grand National Turkey Calling Championships. You have contests throughout the nation already being held to qualify and sanctioned contests to qualify the turkey callers for next year's Grand National Championships. And I believe that that will be here at the Opryland Hotel. I don't know if a date has been set, but how many of you will come back to Nashville? Anybody? I can't hear you. Perfect. It's pretty exciting. The National Wild Turkey Federation continues to give the turkey caller, competitive caller, an opportunity to make it to the stage here every year at the Opryland Hotel for the Grand National Turkey Calling Championships. Again, it's the Super Bowl of turkey calling. And over the weekend, the different winners, you could see futures forged right here on this stage. The history of the National Wild Turkey Federation. I know I went to my first National Wild Turkey Federation convention in 1982 in Orlando, Florida. I didn't go to the first few, and there are some here that probably attended conventions before me. But at my first convention in 1982, I rode down with Grand National Turkey Callers Hall of Fame inductee today, later, Mr. Ray I. And Ray, I flew with Ray, his dad Joe, and his brother Marty to my first National Wild Turkey Federation convention. Again, it was held in Orlando, Florida. And I'm looking back at the history of turkey calling. At that turkey calling championship, that particular turkey calling championship, they had a junior division, they had a senior division, and they had no rules for age back then. So if you qualified for the senior division, you could call in it even if you were a junior back then. And in that turkey calling championship, it's a true story, the junior caller, George Bossinger, won the junior championship and turned around and called in the senior championship and won it. It's the only time in Grand National history where the junior caller on the same day come back in the senior division and won the senior division championship. And I know I'm getting old, but George, and I met George in Blaine, Pennsylvania before he won that turkey calling championship, so I knew him. And in 1982, when he won, Austin Nichols was the sponsor of the National Wild Turkey Federation Grand Nationals at the time. And Austin Nichols, to the top 5 callers in the senior division, gave a great big decanter of whiskey, of bourbon. And that decanter was filled with bourbon. And so they handed George this big decanter, beautiful decanter, not only his Grand National Senior Championship trophy, but they handed George the decanter of bourbon. And I happened to be standing there. I was, watched the whole thing. I actually tied in my first Grand National, and Terry Rum, to this day, swears he never remembers this, but Hall of Famer Terry Rum, I tied him, and he beat me in the call-off to get in the top 8. Back then, they didn't take the top 12. They took the top 8 callers would go to the finals. Back then, they added both your preliminary round score and your final round score together, and that came up with your final total score. Now, after the preliminary rounds, those scores are thrown away, and your scores that only count is the score you get on the final stage, in the finals. So big change there. Well, they hand George this decanter of whiskey, of bourbon, and everybody's looking around, and George didn't come with his parents. So here's this 16-year-old kid, Grand National champion, with a big decanter of whiskey. And they're like, hey, we can't let that kid walk out of here with bourbon. I mean, he's 16 years old. I go, I'll help him. I was 21, and so I actually carried that had to carry that decanter with George to his room because he was staying by himself. His parents sent him to the Grand Nationals, and had to make sure that bourbon got there without George, of course, taking some snorts out of it. So that was pretty funny. Grand National history, unbelievable. Some of the stories I can tell. Trust me, I could probably write a book. I want to remind everybody, not only is the Grand National Super Bowl of turkey calling here this afternoon, after the Super Bowl of turkey calling, the 5 inductees, the 5 new inductees to the Grand National Turkey Callers Hall of Fame. The ceremony will be held here on this stage. Don't miss it, folks. The 5 new inductees are Chris Parrish, Ray Eye, Tom Stuckey, Joe Drake, and Preston Pittman. These gentlemen are icons of this industry and have paved the way for us to enjoy what we enjoy today. Give those inductees a big round of applause and be here to watch that ceremony. And I'm going to check and see if there's any ties. So we're almost ready. They're still tabulating the scores. They had a little computer issue, not a problem, so they're double checking the scores to make sure there are no ties. They're pretty sure there's no ties, but if there is a tie, we're going to call that off here on the stage. If not, we're going to go right to the awards presentation of the Grand National 2022 Grand National Friction Championship. I want to remind everybody that these Friction Championships are, again, the Super Bowl of turkey calling here. These Friction Championships can pave the way for careers on this stage. There are many callers who have went on to start game call companies, whether it's custom call companies or wide variety of game calls, and changed their entire career by winning turkey calling championships here at the Grand National Championship. So, this is a life-changing experience for so many people that are here to compete for this title. Very, very prestigious, and as you can see with these friction callers running these calls, and again, they're not running a friction call, they're making it turkey. And there's a big difference. Somebody can run a friction call, sound like somebody running a friction call. These competitors sounded like turkeys. You all agree with that? Give them a big round of applause. Like to thank again the stage setup, and a special thanks to Tim Gallagher. Tim Gallagher with Heather Farms Landscaping and Nursery for this beautiful stage setup. Give Tim a big round of applause. And in between contests, if you're looking for something to do, make sure you see the exhibits. I'm sure it's going to be pretty crowded down there today. As this is the last day the show is open. Might catch some special deals down there. Who knows? They may want to move some product. So make sure you go through the aisles and take care of the vendors. Those vendors in the exhibits are the heartbeat of this convention, because that is basically why we're here, to see all the new products and see all the new hunting industry, new things. This is the outcoming of turkey call products in the industry at this National Wild Turkey Federation convention. There's also seminars going on throughout the day. I don't have the seminar schedule, but you have to look at your program guide. A lot of great seminars and exhibits. And of course, you've got the Super Bowl of turkey calling this afternoon. And I don't know if you knew this, but I'm going to tell you that the MC for not only the Grand National Senior Division Finals, but also the Grand National Turkey Callers Hall of Fame induction ceremony will be none other than the original CEO of the National Wild Turkey Federation, Mr. Rob Keck. So let's welcome Rob back. We're excited to have Rob back. We're excited to have Rob Keck back. What more can be said about that man and what he has done to help this organization, to our sport, his lifelong contribution. And I talked with Rob yesterday. He just had actually knee replacement surgery, so you might see him walking around on a cane. He's okay, he's healing well. But Rob will be here to do both the senior finals and the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And I'm just tickled to death to see Rob back on this stage. And I know you will be too. All right, there are no ties. Big round of applause to the judges. Thank you. All right, in no particular order, I'm going to call the top 5 Grand National Friction Calling contestants, top 5, up on the stage, and then we're going to have the award presentation. Can I ask Matt, Mark, Matt, I'm going to ask Matt Hughes to the stage. Matt, you all know him. WC prize fighter, Matt Hughes. Give Matt Hughes a big round of applause. Matt will be available afterwards for photos. I know there's a lot of big fans of Matt and his career, his fighting career, decorated. And thank you, Matt, for helping for the weekend. Give Matt another round of applause. All right, Matt's going to be handing out the trophy, but before we do that, here is your top 5 in no particular order. I'm going to ask caller number 13, Mitchell Johnson, to the stage, please. Caller number 7, Matt Van Sice. Caller number 12, Rodney Eckstein. Stein. I'll eventually get it right before I probably pass away. I don't know. Caller number 2, Dustin Jones. And caller number 11, Zach Conway.
Dave is about my verse, I can make you guys look great.
Is that right? We need all the help we got.
I'll
stand right next to you.
It doesn't take too much.
That's why they call me.
So we think this is the top 5, but stand by, we're checking.
Let's resort that. Sorry, guys. We're gonna keep it honest. I mean, if you're calling two, that's Jake. Whoever.
All right, we have the correct top 5 on stage. Caller number 8, they wrote the wrong number down. I apologize.
It's all right, Steve. I just want to make sure everything's right. Just don't let it happen.
Absolutely. Big round of applause. Top 5 right here. And we apologize to Jason Powell for calling his number out. They just wrote the wrong number down. So sorry, Jason. All right. Here are your top 5 finalists of the 2022 Grand National Friction Championship. And I'm going to call them out, starting with the 4th runner-up. 4th runner-up. Caller number 11, Zach Conway. Third runner-up, caller number 7, Matt Van Sice. Second runner-up. Wait, there are 3 of you left, right? Yep. Second runner-up. Caller number 13, Mitchell Johnston. Before I go any further, look at these Grand National Friction Championship trophies. I can't think of a better theme than what you see on that turkey Grand National Championship trophy, the American flag. Big round of applause to Sandy Brady for coming up with that. Unbelievable. So now we're down to 2. These callers worked so hard for this moment. This is the Super Bowl of turkey calling, and this is the time to crown a champion. And when I call the first runner-up, you'll know who is the 2022 Grand National Friction Calling Champion. First runner-up, caller number 8, Dustin Jones. The 2022 Grand National Friction Turkey Calling Champion, Rodney Eckstein. Rodney Eckstein. Woo! so happy for him. I've known him like almost all my life. Unbelievable. This man has worked all, look, this is an inspiration right here. He has called for 30 years. 30 plus years probably, right, Rod?
Yep.
Grand National Friction Champion. Yeah. Get out here. Come on out here. Woo! Woohoo!
Oh, my. That is awesome.
Unbelievable. Big round of applause, Rod. Man has called for so long to win this championship, and it's finally happened. And when those stories come together, this is epic. This is history. It's epic. Again, thanks everybody for coming. Make sure you're back here at 12 noon for the Super Bowl at Turkey Calling. Big round of applause for the top 5 again. Thank you.
Huh? Got another wall for that thing. That's done. All right. Thank you. All right. He's like, it's too complicated. I can't do it.